Hello everyone, my name is Teresa of Chopstick and Succulents, and in this video, I'm going to share with you how I repurposed this large wicker trunk and converted this into a succulent planter. You see, there are so many items in our homes that used to serve a certain purpose, but over time they get worn out and we replace them with something new. Thanks to succulents, because instead of throwing these things away, they were given the chance to be useful again. Like this repurposed succulent planter out of this old wicker storage trunk. Stick with me until the end of this video because you'll learn a lot from this one. I will share with you the soil mixture I used for this project, as well as how I saved a lot of soil when filling up a large planter like this. Also, I will give you an idea of how to put different succulents together and create an arrangement that you'll be proud to display in your garden. The first thing I did for this one is to make sure that the lid remains open. To accomplish that, I secured one corner of the cover to a nearby branch. To make this planter last longer, you can line this with a plastic or raised bed liners before adding the soil to protect it. But I left this as is and took advantage of the holes on the sides to allow more drainage, and in that way, the soil would dry faster. The next thing I did was fill up more than half of this trunk with empty plastic plant containers. And I will explain why. First of all, I do not want to spend a lot of money filling this whole trunk with my soil mixture. And because most of these plants have shallow roots, they don't really need that much soil to survive. Also, the more soil present in a planter, the more water gets retained. When you fill these spaces, you want to use lighter materials, like plastic water bottles or containers like this, because aside from being lightweight, they also won't disintegrate, and at the same time, you are helping reduce environmental waste by recycling. You can also use rocks or stones, but the problem is, in case you decide to move this to another location, the weight of the whole planter would be an issue. Now, let's talk about the soil mixture. With succulents, you do not want to use a soil mixture that holds a lot of water, because you want to prevent these plants from absorbing too much, or to remain wet longer, because it can cause a lot of problems, including root rot. But growing these plants in a dry and sunny location like mine here in California, I also do not want to use a very crumbly soil mixture because the soil will dry out fast, and these plants will end up getting thirsty often and would need frequent watering. So I need to adjust the soil mixture based on my location. A mixture that will hold some water but will also allow it to dry faster. The soil mixture that I use for my outer succulents is a half and half mixture, a 50% organic and a 50% inorganic mix. So I use 2 parts spotting soil, 1 part perlite, and 1 part coarse sand. This soil mixture works for me, but this might not work for everyone, especially for those who are living in very humid locations or in areas where it frequently rains. Therefore, you need to learn how to adjust your mixture. If you want your soil mixture to dry faster, then you need to add more inorganic mixes like pebbles, lava rocks, poultry grit, or coarse sand. I often use cuttings for my projects, but with bigger planters like this, I prefer to use already rooted and matured succulents, preferably those that are already acclimatized to the full sun, so that I do not need to worry about them getting sunburned. When you combine all these plants together in one planter, you also need to consider their light and water requirements. So let me show you how I put this together, and let's learn more as we go along. Let's start with this Crassula ovata. I like this one because it looks like a small tree and is already showing some colors on the edges of its leaves. If you look closer at their leaves, they look somehow wrinkly. This is an indication that the plant needs water. When you are using rooted succulents, you can water them right away when you are finished planting, and after a few days, the plant should plump up if the roots and stems are healthy. Next, I added this pine cone cactus. Using this plant can be a bit tricky because this one can survive longer without being watered compared to other plants and can rot faster when frequently wet. But because I amended my soil and I have this planter outdoors in full sun, and at the same time, I know how and when to water that is safe for all of them, I don't need to worry about it. Now, if you are not sure how to properly water your succulents, check out my book on Amazon. The title is Water Me Next Week, a Succulents Plea, a beginner's guide to watering succulents. Or you can watch more YouTube video about why you should avoid overwatering or underwatering your succulents. I will leave the link in the description below. When you transfer a rooted plant like this, loosen the root ball before planting to another container. If you notice, I do not discard the soil that comes with it, but rather mix some to my amended soil mixture. And again, I can get away with this because of my current location. Then I added the aloe and neonium, and for the spiller, I added this trailing sedum. And for some colors, this sedum Adolphii is just perfect for this project. And then I added larger rosette-shaped echeverias. Using matured succulent plants has some perks. You might get a pleasant surprise when you find these babies hiding. When you find some, you can trim them and plant as cuttings. And if you want to learn more how to plant succulents from cuttings, I have another video about that, and I will leave the link in the description below. These dry leaves at the bottom of the plant are normal. Remove them because they can become breeding grounds for insects and pests. You can remove them manually, or you can use the Tweezers for Succulents and make grooming them so much easier. For finishing touches, you can add some pebbles, especially in areas where the soil is visible. And you can also add some embellishments to give some interest to your design. Most of the plants I used are colorful. They can remain colorful when stressed. If you are growing your succulents outdoors in full sun and you are interested in learning how to grow colorful succulents, then allow me to guide you. You'll enjoy your hobby of growing succulents more. Trust me, my aunt used to complain to me that she does not want to buy colorful succulents anymore because they always end up turning green. But when I shared with her the lessons I've learned and the techniques I applied to achieve the vibrant colors of my succulent plants, she started to see amazing results after following what I do. If you're interested, check out my course on how to grow colorful succulents. The link is in the description below. And that's how you plant succulents together in a bigger recycled planter like this. I hope you learned a lot from this tutorial, and if you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Take care, everyone.